the broad strokes that I remember from last time is that we went down the elevator, we explored the visitor center. It took, we had some trouble with foams there. Got into a small little fight. Got a little banged up, but not extremely so. And then we went deeper down the elevator. I don't remember the name of the floor, but it was a room with like a pool of like black water with like glowing vomes swimming around in it, or electrical vomes. And then we started exploring through the halls, and we stopped in front of a thick vault door.
That's about it. I would add that Azure almost got killed by the explosion.
Oh, right. They were like explosive vomes. Yeah.
Yeah, there were the explosive vomes, and we also, in the elevator was this dried out, living mummy person who was obsessed with this puzzle box. Yeah. That was like this golden, shining Rubik's Cube-ish thing that we think will, like, if you stare at it, it'll start solving itself. And we bagged that one, and then we found another in the gift shop that we were investigated. And we also bagged, we swapped them out and stuffed them in different compartments of a lunchbox. So we're carrying around these two potentially deadly golden puzzle cube things now.
And then in the visitor center, I don't know if there's anything, like there was this 60s lounge. There was the opportunity at least to read up on the history of the place. There was this media center and like a cinema and a gift shop. But yeah, you went further down. It was completely dark. There was a pool. Inside of the pool are these cold foams. They're not actually glowing. And Saffron definitely sensed a current in the pool. So there was a current coming from the hall that you eventually took, and it went somewhere like opposite the elevator. That was noteworthy. And then you reached a junction, and straight on there's this super heavy vault door with a panel to the side and like a red emergency light on top that is not glowing. And then from the right there was you sensed a slightly warmer air, and from the left there was nothing special. And I think that is where we left off. So what do you do?
Is that right and left in front of the vault door, or right and left somewhere else?
Yeah, so in front of you is the vault door. To the right is the junction that is slightly warmer. To the left, you don't know. And obviously behind you is the pool.
Okay.
Yeah, so our thinking last time was that the warmer direction is maybe further into the structure, because we know that we're kind of down around the lake. Around here, some of the current in the previous room, we think is because it's actually connected into the lake somehow.
Got it. Oh, is it electrical current, or I'm guessing no? It's like a
water.
Yeah, it's a water current.
Okay, cool.
So there was like some temperature differential in the water, and the current pushing different temperature water around.
Yes. And so it's completely dark. I think you have no lights on. Saffron is more or less guiding you at the moment.
Yeah, that was our attempt at being sneaky, because we think things might react poorly to lights.
Yeah, those bones.
Although maybe we're far enough away now that we could.
Yeah, you definitely. Yeah, you moved for I don't know, like, would it be 60 feet or something? 20 yards.
Yeah, so we could probably return your eyesight to the rest of you, and I don't have to lead you by the hand anymore.
So do you want to check out the door? Do you want to like listen, smell, go in any direction? What's the plan?
If we have a light source available, I'd be curious to like look at the panel a little bit closer.
So the panel is pretty simple. It is a keypad, and it's not, illuminated in any way. There's nothing blinking, or there's no description on the display. It looks pretty like, yeah, it's like Soviet style, like hardy electronics.
Mm-hmm. But you said it's just a keypad?
Mm-hmm.
Like, what are the keys? Just like a normal keyboard type, or just numbers, or?
Yeah, it's numbers.
Okay. Gotcha.
And then there's a display on top, but it's not illuminated.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I'm going to, yeah, I'm gonna have Flux see if he can, send any thin little tendrils in between the keys or what have you, and see if he can connect to anything to get a sense of, any useful information, especially what would be on the other side. That would be the most important thing I'd want to find out before we try to open it.
Mm-hmm. So Flux climbs on the keypad, and how does it look like? Like, is there something coming out of his fingers, or I don't know? Body?
I think it's the. I think I mentioned one time before that that like it can go like really like crazy flat, like a it can flatten itself against my spine or whatever and communicate that way if it needed to. Versus the ticker tape, I think in this case it gets its whole body or its head gets really flat as it kind of like spreads itself over the keypads and deeper in.
Yeah, I like it. So it head gets really flat and then it kind of dives into the keypad.
Kind of, or it almost looks like not to be grim, like roadkill, right? Like its head looks like it got crushed. It's not crushed though. It's just really thin. Cool. And spread over the keypad, but the rest of it is like normal thickness.
So after some time, he comes back up and spits out the ticker tape, and it says power level 0, can't interact.
Okay. That would suggest to me that there might be another control switch room, right? Because we turned all switches to on.
Yeah, so about that, when you were upstairs, there was indeed, that was like 2 sessions before, there was this switchboard, and when I'm not mistaken, one of the switches actually said reactor door.
Yes.
There was a switch, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I think we turned it on.
Yes, you turned all of them on.
Yeah, so it would seem to suggest that this probably is not the reactor door. Maybe it's something else. Maybe. Not sure, though. Or it means that turning the switches on isn't sufficient because, like, the power source elsewhere, like the switches might be on, but whatever would feed power is not itself on. I don't remember if everyone was around the session that I started this one. I'm just going to reshare this like map doodle doc thing that I've been trying to keep vaguely aligned with what we've been exploring.
So what Sako just said is that it is possible that there's another power source that needs to power the door, because you did flip the switch.
Yeah. Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah, it'd be like if the power was off in my own house, but I flip all the light switches on. They're on, but until the power comes back online.
Yeah.
Nothing doing.
So while you're standing in front of the door, and you have to roll a die. No. I think there's like a slightly it's almost like the smell of like a reptile house, like an unpleasant smell coming from the right, where it's slightly warmer.
Could be interesting, could be bad. If we go there, we'll proceed with caution. That's the takeaway.
Nathan, quick question for you. Is this built as on a vertical or horizontal? Like, is this a top-down view or is this a side view?
More of a side view than top-down. But there's a sort of a mix.
Because mostly it's the lake and the elevator shafts and things.
Yeah, like so the ones that are more top-down are the initial ones that are joined with arrows. Okay. And then where there are elevator shafts, like that switches to more of a side view. Yeah. The tools, the shapes that you can draw aren't detailed enough to try to like make it more like isometric, which is kind of what I was trying to do. So it's more of a flow chart, right? And that occasionally will like flip between top down and side view. So
okay. I put it in the notes and I just wanted to make sure I knew kind of what I was looking at, because this is totally detailed and I wanted to make sure I'm understanding it.
Yeah. I'm not totally sure like where we are right now with the like pool room and the halls and stuff. I couldn't make heads or tails of like the different hallways branching off in what directions. So there's not much detail there other than just sort of vaguely.
But we are at left hall, pool room, right hall, thick vault door. That area.
I don't know. I'm not sure. I couldn't keep any track of how
we are currently at thick vault door.
Okay.
Down at the
but like relatively speaking, I'm not sure how many hallways or how many turns we've taken and that kind of thing.
Yeah.
Okay. So this is a more or less representative map, but it is not drawn to scale. You're not measuring out like
correct
feet and things like that.
No.
Okay.
Yeah. It's got it. Very condensed and very loose. Yeah.
Okay. Got it. Thank you.
My gut still says go towards warmer is kind of so some of the flavor that we got last time is that there was maybe this alien cult, like go to space to be among the stars and the aliens, and we believe in aliens kind of stuff that existed here before the cataclysm.
Yeah, the two rods kind of worried me.
Yeah, and we know that there's radioactive materials and stuff.
Yeah, the impression I got from the visitor center was that this was almost like, here, let me find a link to this, because no one's going to know what this is if they're not from my town. You'll know what kind of thing it is, but I want to see if they've got a decent. Yeah, that's a decent picture.
This is a nuclear power plant. Is it San Onofre or Diablo Canyon?
nice picture. But like a science museum vibe that I got. This is this picture. That link is terrible. Hold on, I'm trying to find a picture of the one that's in my town. But the one in my town used to be like, I don't remember what kind of industrial application it was. It was like a power plant or something. Or yeah. It was like a. It had like turbines in it and stuff. But in any case, some of the old industrial stuff is still around, and the rest they've kind of turned into like a sciencey place. And with the space focus and the theater and everything else, it kind of what we were finding last time kind of gave me that vibe of a perhaps still functional but also interpretive center for some sort of like space / reactor. Yeah.
Good enough. I wanted to get an idea of like what I was looking at with the map, and the rest of it was just kind of like, wait a minute, this sounds like a nuclear power plant.
Yeah.
Well, the area you.
I don't have a sense if it's just like incidental nuclear power, right? Or if it's like a notable nuclear power plant, right? But I think one of the two. There's nuclear power involved somehow.
Yeah, and I was just wondering about like the rods. Do we actually need them to open doors or anything like that? Is that part of the? Is that a fuel source? So
yeah, sure.
Carry on. Never mind.
So, and the other thing is the alien perspective. So you do know that the cold worms are rumored to come from the stars. There was one rumor that you've heard some time ago. You also heard that that they crashed in their sky chariots, and that there's still some of these sky chariots in the horse step, I think. It's on the map, I think. And then you will remember that the white crab worms, that they seem to revere the pyramid of monitors, and there was also the what's it called, like the telescope in that room. So that there is some kind of alien connection in the whole area. But yeah, you're absolutely right. It does look like an old power plant down here with the pools.
Like it would make sense for cooling the materials with lake water and stuff.
Yeah, it could either be that. It doesn't seem like it would be the like boiler, right? Since it was like open, but anything's possible.
So yeah, warm is potentially concerning in a number of ways, but it's also more interesting.
Yeah, and it's more likely to be where we can turn something from off to on or whatever.
And also, I don't know. I guess we don't have any good clues on where Vicar is down here, so we'll just have to keep searching.
So you, I hear that you want to check out the right corridor.
Yeah, kind of go very carefully.
So when you take the right corridor, it definitely gets like considerably warmer, and you can hear, I think, like a scraping, I would say. It's like it has like a chitinous sound, if that makes sense, like chitin on concrete, maybe. And after a couple of minutes, you still like I assume. Please correct me if it's wrong. That Sarko's in the front with the light. And I think we have established that Azure takes the rear, and then Saffron and Nida are in the middle. Does that make sense?
Yep.
Fine by me.
Okay, cool. So
Do we need to have exact order? Is that important, or is this good enough?
No, that is good enough. Like front, back, and in the middle. And so you can see that the hallway will end in a room that is illuminated, and the illumination doesn't seem to be artificial, but rather something like fireflies or something. And I assume that you move further, and if you carefully go further and look around the corner into the room, you can see that in the middle there is like it is a pretty big room. It's similar to these conference rooms. It has another exit, another hallway that leads back to the direction where the pool would be. And in the middle, there is a gigantus creature. I want to say, I think it is pretty obviously that it is a vole mother. So it looks like a big, like bus-sized maggot, and she is surrounded by different type of worms. There are worms that have blowtorches as appendices. You can see the white crab worms that you have seen before, the grapplers, the elongated ones, and detoner worms. And they all seem to move between her and the other exit.
Do you mean detonator worms?
Yes.
Gotcha.
Daytona. They don't. They haven't seen you, and not all of them. By the way, like show rational behavior. There's a couple of them that just stand still and stare before them. Others leak some kind of substance, or they belch some kind of black smoke. There, you can. I don't know if you remember, but some of them seem to spill these small drives that you've seen before. So they get smaller and smaller while they stand and leak these small like SD drives on legs.
Mm.
But there's like utter chaos in this hall, in this room. What do? They haven't seen you yet.
Have we ever tried to communicate with Bones besides Johnny 7?
I think the only one we tried to communicate with was the deactivated one. We tried to see if we could, access it while I was sleeping, more or less, but we didn't. Communicating, I don't think so.
Was the one that I snuffed in the back of the head, was that a Vome or no?
There was a necrotic Vome way back in behind the portal. I don't think that you really tried to communicate with the one that was in this docking station. I think you were more deliberating about tying it. Oh, I do remember you sent Flux, Sarko, and Flux said that there's like it was telling you that the Vome was corrupted. There was corrupted code, and that then you decided to not press further. You can also see behind the Voam Mother in one corner there's it looks like almost like a gelatinous cube, and inside the cube there are other Voams in some kind of suspension.
Would you say that this is a grenade
situation? If you ask neither, probably.
It does seem like a pretty good situation. How many grenades do we have?
Tons.
Tons? Cool. I'd like with us. I just don't like if we set off a grenade and there's still plenty more to come. I just want to make sure we have we can really give them a lot of presence.
You want to grenade the shit out of the room.
See, this seems like a room to do that. Yeah.
So I realize this may be unusual. I am wondering if it is worth attempting to try to communicate with these Voams in some way. Or if that would just basically aggro them and put us in a fight. But I mean, is it worth trying to communicate with them? Because I mean, this is a Voam Mother. We've never seen one of these before. Now,
yeah.
That's going to get you some XP on your journal.
Hey, listen. I am 1,000 points away from level. I am well aware of that. I am merely saying, is it possible that this could actually benefit us more if we try to communicate in some way? I mean, maybe we can get through the facility easier. Maybe we can avoid problems that the Voams know about that we don't. We don't necessarily have anything to offer them. But we just want to get Saffron's mom a body and get out of here, right? I mean,
we could also save some grenades.
Listen, we do have enough grenades. That's not really an issue, and this is absolutely room to grenade the hell out of if it comes down to that. Although I would like to point out that if we are going to do that, it would make more sense to retreat down the hallway, try to get them in the hallway, and grenade them in the hall, where the shrapnel and concussive force of the grenades will do more damage, as opposed to just chucking into the giant open room where the concussive force can dissipate. Not that I've thought about this or anything.
Those may be worth attempting a conversation anyway. One strategic question is, should we investigate the other hallway to see if that's a good escape route?
I am not in agreement.
Because the pool room isn't actually a super great escape route because there's the cold Voams in the water that we snuck past.
I'll be back in a second, guys. Just
sure.
Talk about yourselves.
Yeah.
Strategize.
Does the idea of talking to them make sense? And if so, how should we do it? Because I mean, obviously, Azure and I are not particularly good options. Sarko, you have Flux. Well, I mean, Azure, wait, it's your salamander that's pregnant, right?
Yeah.
Well, both of the salamanders, I think, have the quality that they are prone to corruption. So depending on what form communicating with Voams takes, doing it with the salamanders is pretty risky for the salamanders themselves.
So options are, depending on how we want to communicate with them. We could just try talking.
Yeah,
it's possible that one of these is elevated enough, like maybe the Voam Mother is enough of a consciousness, biological consciousness, to actually communicate back to us. If we need to communicate with the mechanical side of the Voams, the code machine side of them, I could interface with them potentially.
I'm wondering if it might make sense. Far be it for me to try to push you into danger or anything like that. But Saffron is both biological and organic at this point because of the robot prairie dog stuff.
Yeah.
So it seems like that would be more familiar to these Voams due to that combination of organic and synthetic in the same body.
Yeah, I unfortunately am I am not the most charismatic spokesperson currently.
Well, you know what they say, music is the international language, right? Everybody loves music. So maybe do like a polyphonic spree kind of thing.
Do Vomes like music? Do we know this yet?
I think it would depend on the Vomes. My sense is that they all have different obsessions or, what have you.
It's a good opportunity to play the bard for a minute.
Also, Nathan, did you already add the 100 XP to your character sheet?
Yep, I sure did.
Okay, so you're 90 points from your 90 XP from level. Okay, that's what I was asking.
So the suggestion is either attempt communication with probably the lone mother itself. I picture it like in Starship Troopers, this gigantic,
the brain bug.
The brain bug. And or checking some kind of escape route through the hallway that you haven't checked. That's the two things, I think.
I think I would rather, at this point, make sure we know how the hell we're getting out if things go pear-shaped.
Yeah, it's probably not a bad thing. Yeah.
I'm happy to do that. I'm happy to go guinea pig that tunnel.
Yeah, the one that was less warm, right?
We could all
go
down and explore that tunnel first and then come back.
Yeah.
I really don't want to split the party at this point because we should all know how to get out just in case.
Yeah, sure. I definitely agree. I would want to go see it with I maybe not see it with my own eyes. I guess I'm holding the lamp, right? So.
So you're moving back from the direction you came, and then over the junction, straight over the junction, and about the same distance. So I don't know, this 60 feet maybe. The door, the hallway ends in another door, which is also vaulty. So it is definitely a thick metal wall. But it doesn't have the the massive appearance of the one you've seen before. So you think that, for example, you could blow it up with a. You check the door. It is closed. It is locked. There's no keypad or anything. But you do think that you could theoretically blow it up, unlike the other door, which would need like huge amounts of TNT.
Well, if we blow it up now, that's going to draw Vome attention.
It's likely to, yeah.
And I don't like we might be able to blow it up part. Because if we can't, that means we have 1, waste through grenades, 2, draw the attention of the Vomes, and 3, don't have an escape route.
So if we want to try talking to the Vomes, this doesn't seem like an escape route.
I mean, we could. If we have to run through the pool room, that's just more Vomes that we'd be running through from away. We can drop grenades in there, and they may be even more effective thanks to the compression effects. Depending on.
I think if you throw grenades into a pool of water, I think that at least the drums will blow. I'm not sure if the explosion itself is as violent.
From what
you're looking at a chain reaction, basically.
Yeah, it can do some internal body.
Yeah, exactly.
Stuff.
Exactly. Yeah.
But it could buy us enough time to run through. And
yeah, I don't. Ugh, excuse me. If we have to beat and escape back to the elevator, I feel like it's not like a it's risky, but not insanely risky.
Do we know how deep the pool is?
I don't think we have a sense of it, but
you did because Saffron saw them like hovering on the ground of the pool, and I think it's like 6 feet deep.
Oh, okay.
Is this like a cave pool, or is this a swimming pool or something like it?
It looks like it's definitely like an artificial pool. Okay. It's completely square. Yeah, so it is obviously some kind of cooling pool. Because of the layout.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like maybe. Yeah.
Oh, go on. Sorry.
I was just gonna say, I feel like if we wanted to try the, we come in truce, if not peace, with the Vomes, and then if that goes south, we can skedaddle and just toss grenades every which way but loose.
Do we get a monkey to go with that? So let me just toss out an idea here. Do we want to prep some traps on our escape route? And if we do, Horse, do we need to roll to evade our own traps? Like if we're setting up tripwires and things?
Yeah, like probably with advantage because you know where they are. And if they have like some kind of timer, you can obviously trip the wire, release the pin, and then still you have some time to move away.
So, Nathan, I'm going to go look at your map for a second here, and if I'm misunderstanding the layout on this, please let me know. So, looking down that right hall, we've got that smaller vault door, the thick vault door, the glowing firefly things, and then the mother Vome. Then before that is the pool room, and then before that is the elevator, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then with the left hall, have we explored down the left hall at all?
No.
I don't believe so.
Okay. Should we maybe go take a look? Because what I'm looking at is if the elevator is just past the pool room, I'm wondering if there's any place that I can set up with my rifle to have clear line of sight down the hallway to the mother Vome with the other Vomes. Because that at least allows me to give you some cover fire on the way out if you're running like hell. And then it might make sense to check down the left hall first, because if we have to hit that elevator, we really don't want to be, we're probably not coming back down here, right? Not if we aggro the Vomes.
Right. Probably not.
So I mean, if this is our one shot, let's get as much of this kind of mapped out, explored, so we know more or less what's down here, what we can grab, and where we can set up advantageous positions. Because if this is going to turn into a fight, I think where we are located is going to matter.
Okay, so you do you go back to the pool room? Do you switch off the light?
Yeah, I'll do the same that we did before, where we hold on to each other and let the tech marmot use their special sight.
This is risky. Just to clarify for everyone's sake, doing this again and going back to the left hall is a risky move, and we might get in a fight.
Okay, so
that might be worth it, and I do have advantage on this roll, but my dex sucks. I got a crit the last time, but that was basically luck, not.
Okay, that's totally valid.
I like the idea of
Excuse me.
being cautious and maximizing and exploring through here, but
you could theoretically send, you know, you do have familiars. There's Ajax, there's Flux, there's Cataract.
That's maybe a better idea.
Yelling at me. I mean, I'm basically just going to owe that cat an entire lake's worth of fish at this point.
Yeah, I think Ajax was very unusually quiet since the Walker incident, where he was thrown into the cockpit. Since then, you know how cats are. He showed you the cold shoulder.
Much as my actual literal cat is doing to me right now. What the hell? I'm gonna go back down the hallway a little bit and say, "Hey, Ajax, I need your help." Which is, I mean, that's pretty much normal. I always need your help. I'm a human. I mean, we kind of suck at this stuff, right?
Ajax sits completely straight, not looking at you, looking like straight at the, I don't know, back into the direction you came, sitting straight, and the ears are like playing a little bit.
You hearing something?
I mean, a lot of bullshit from you.
You're not wrong. I'm sorry Azure threw you in there. That was absolutely not the plan. But you know, when you're dealing with like a rated out roid monkey, what are you going to do? I mean, bad call on my part. I didn't know Azure was going to just toss you in with so little dignity. I thought that Azure would open up the hatch, you'd go in, you'd do your thing, maybe groom your face a little bit after you finished killing the dudes. You know, what I'm saying is I am sorry.
Neither. We have been on the road for, I don't know, months and months and months.
Yeah.
What I want is, you know, just a hotel, milk, you know, maybe another cat another cat lord to communicate. I just want a break. Give me a fucking break. I don't want to be thrown around. I don't want to crawl through stinky hallways that are, you know, unlit.
Yeah, totally fair.
So what do you want?
I want about a week in a place that has warm baths, good food, and nothing trying to kill me.
Sign me up.
So, you think you can go check out that hallway past the pool room there? Tell us if there's anything worth, like if there's an exit, if there's any way to get out that way, or if that elevator up is the only way out for us.
If there's an exit from this shithole, I will find it, and I will tell you.
Thank you.
And then Ajax walks off into the darkness. I make another roll, because the more time you spend there, at some stage something will happen, but you're lucky.
Better be lucky than good.
And he comes back after a couple of minutes saying, there's a pretty big like shaft. Seems to be like a ventilation shaft leading up.
Leading up at an angle, leading up vertically?
Vertically. I don't think. I mean, they're. I think you could get up. There are cables hanging down. But it's, I won't get up there unless I'm riding on your shoulder, that is.
Well, Ajax, the only way you're getting left down here is if all of us are dead. So, there will be somebody for you to ride up on.
All right.
And if there isn't, you can eat our bodies or just, pee on us or whatever it is that you want to do to get even.
So, Nyla, don't forget, you promised me a week spent in a hotel with warm water.
The next place we get to that has anything like that, I will personally sabotage the vehicles myself to get that break. Because, and I just kind of like sniff myself and it's like, I know, we all know. It's gross, right?
Especially if you have a sensitive nose.
Ajax, did you notice anything about that shaft? Like, was it hot? Was there anything beneath it? Was there anything leading to it?
No, this is the ground floor. It was leading up.
Right.
It looks as if the Vomes sometimes take it as a route.
How the hell could they take it as a route? It's vertical. Do they just like dig claws in or something?
Climbing. I mean, I saw, these scales and everything on the ground. So they do spend some time in there, and I can't imagine that they do anything else than climbing.
Interesting. So relaying that information to the rest of the group, does it make more sense for us to try to get to that shaft and climb up, or the elevator?
Oh, by the way, Ajax said something else. Sorry to interrupt
Yes.
you. He said, you know what? I also saw 2 tunnels in the pool itself. I'm not sure. I won't swim. I do like warm water in a bath, not, swimming through a pool that is infested by Vomes. But, there's one tunnel coming from the corridor we are in now, and then another tunnel leading to the opposite the elevator.
So that kind of makes sense with the currents and stuff.
How big are those tunnels?
Like man-sized.
And are they underwater?
Yes.
Okay. So I'm curious, if we drop a grenade in that pool, you said it probably set off barrels. Is that correct? Or did I misunderstand that?
No, we could concuss the cold bones and run through.
Yeah, I meant eardrums, not.
Oh, okay. I thought there were like barrels of something floating in there that would be secondary explosions to kill everything in the pool.
Makes sense.
Okay.
So
here's an alternate idea that we could do first or later or something. It's plausible that the tunnel that leads this way, just along the hallway that we're in, under the water, takes water into the reactor. If we think this is the reactor, and that might let us bypass the vault door, if we're willing to go for a really nasty swim.
The question is, how long would it be underwater? How long are those tunnels? Because did we bring the diving suits with us?
No.
So we would need to go back up, get the diving suits, and come back into a hostile environment with lots of exploding vomes that already nearly killed Azure. Speaking of, did Azure heal up? And I know Abe's AFK for this for a moment.
Somewhat. I think
We bandaged, and
Yes.
I gave Azure a VC healing lotion.
Okay.
Yep. I don't think that Azure used it yet,
Not yet.
just in case they. Let's see.
Azure's
Yeah, I
at
think they were-
3 of 8, so
Yeah, I think we were holding on to it. Yeah, just because since it's a 2d6 heal, I think they're holding on to it just in case it didn't look like we were going to get into another fight.
Okay. Fair. So we're coming down to a point where we need to make a decision because Horst keeps rolling, and rolls aren't going to hold us forever.
Yeah.
Do we want to try to communicate with the Vomes? Do we want to go in shooting? Do we want to try to explore that tunnel that's underwater, even though we don't? I mean, I don't think that sounds like a particularly great option because it
We'd have
might
to
be
deal with
irradiated water.
Yeah.
Well,
We'd have
yeah.
to deal with the cold bones anyway.
Yeah, and it might be irradiated, and we don't know if it goes anywhere useful. So I don't feel like the tunnel is an option based on what we know so far.
Or even if we could survive it without the suit. Like,
Yep.
you know, we don't necessarily know how far it is, and we're not, you know, I don't feel like doing free diving in the middle of a pitch black cave.
I don't know if you could send the salamanders. I mean, are salamanders aquatic? Don't think so.
They're wet.
They're amphibious, but these I don't know if these tech salamanders are. They might not be as water friendly. Yeah, I would be worried about any situation where we might go diving in like an industrial environment because I've seen those work safety videos of divers who there's a mild current here. He's trapped forever and he drowned, and so were the next 3 divers they sent to save him, or divers, not drivers.
Mm-hmm.
I would stay out of the water, I think.
Like that Mission Impossible movie where like Tom Cruise dives down into the middle. Yeah.
Yeah, it's maybe like I'm seeing it as like a backup option. We can't solve anything else. Get a dive suit and some rope, and
I'd call it a last-ditch effort, but it's an underwater tunnel, so it's not a ditch.
it's a ditch filled with water.
A ditch implies there's an opening at the top.
True.
So, okay, it sounds like we are going to try to talk to the Vomes in the main chamber.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm going to just take 2 grenades off of my belt of bad things. And hey, Saffron, how many arms do you have at this point because of the prairie dog stuff? Is it just 2 arms, 2 legs?
2 arms, 2 legs.
Okay. I'm just going to give them to you and say, 1 for each hand. Put your thumb here, put your thumb here. Pull your thumbs up, drop them, run like hell.
Sounds good.
If it goes sideways.
Mm-hmm.
And then, you know, I'm thinking maybe Sarko and I move back a little bit farther down the hall. And I still don't have an answer to that question, Horst, about if I'm at the elevator, do I have line of sight down the hall? No?
No.
I see Chris shaking his head. Okay.
So the top-down view, as I picture it, is so there's the pool room, and if the elevator is at the bottom, then there was a hall to the left and a hall to the right, and then that goes like 60 feet, and then it turns and goes another 60 feet, and that's the Vones.
Yes.
So with the elevator's in the Vome pool room, correct?
Yeah.
Okay. In that case, I want to set up as far down the hallway as I can, where I can get clear line of sight.
You could be basically at the junction with the big vault door.
Yes.
And the hallway that leads to the pool room.
You know, because Saffron, if you've got to come running, you're going to need something putting lead down that hallway. or plasma or whatever.
Yeah, your 2d12 laser gun.
Yeah, the Satrap radiant gun.
Yeah, put the Vomes on fire.
Yeah,
sounds good.
So all right, I think we've got our plan. You've got 2 grenades on you. You know what? Just because I'm carrying and I'm like that. Are you wearing like any kind of like harness or bandolier or anything like that?
Not really. I have like a belt.
Okay.
Like I have my cloak and I have some amount of like belts and packs and stuff because I have a couple grenades latched on and my daggers and stuff.
Okay, so looking at your gear, I'm going to look at it's like, and I'm just going to start doing NIDA math, and it's like, and I'm going to look at the grenades on your belt, and I'm going to look at the grenades in your hand. It's like, take 2 more just in case.
Okay.
Remember,
so I have 6
2 at a time. 2 at a time.
2 are in my hands. Like I have my hands like in my. I think as I'll approach, I'll like have my arms behind my back in my cloak. Yeah. Like nothing to see here.
And I'm actually going to like tidy things up on that belt, so it's like you can just reach down, grab 2 more, pop them, pop the pencil with your thumbs, drop them, and keep going, and then reach down and grab 2 more. So, and then I'm going to look at it and like kind of just tighten it up a little bit, like kind of like a proud parent getting a kid ready for school for the first time or something like that, shooting the collar and everything like that. It's like, all right. You're ready now.
Prairie dogs, they grow up so fast.
Look, you've already graduated to explosives. It was only like yesterday that you were just using projectile weapons. Because it was literally yesterday you were using projectile weapons.
You enter the big room. And you can see that the Vome mother is, communicating with the other Vomes verbally. So there's some kind of. She also constantly is fed by Vomes, and she's also. More or less constantly giving birth to something, to some creature. You do see that there are, as I said, there are a couple of, I would say that at least 25%, at least 1/4 of the Vomes in this room are disoriented in some way or show strange behavior. You can see that a lot of them have some kind of tools attached to them. As I said, blow torches. You have these sledgehammers that they use to harvest. It's not the right word, but to mine the gravel. You see Vomes with these underbellies filled with explosive substances. And while you're getting closer, you don't seem to be noticed as an intruder. It might be your cybernetic part, it might be your prairie dog part, but you seem to be ignored. What do you do?
So if I'm like at the entrance to the room, I want to, before I make noise or say anything, I want to look around and see, like, what is in this room besides the Vomes?
Yeah. So you do think it was probably some kind of what's it called? Like an auxiliary power plant. So there is behind the Vome mother, there's these gelatinous cube, and the Vomes in stasis, and then there's a generator next to them. And you think it was probably some kind of machine room earlier. And that must have been like a long time ago, because there's no tools or furniture or anything left.
But otherwise, this is a dead end.
Yeah, no, there's another corridor leaning north. You can, or to the right of you. You can't really see from where you are where that leads, but the stream of worms that come and go
use that.
Yes,
okay, gotcha. So that's maybe the connection to the rest of the complex, potentially. There is a part of Saffron's mind that is like, what if I just don't say anything and walk in and explore?
As I said, when you enter, you are ignored.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it's not necessarily a terrible plan or thought to,
at least walk around and see if I can do. Nida is very pro sneaking around as long as they don't care for me. Yeah, I think I give like a hand sign backwards of like, it's like stay, it's okay. I don't think we actually have like a particularly complicated like hand language, but I'm able to be like, no, I know what I'm doing. Stay, don't. Yeah, I'll kind of sneak in very tentatively, and kind of skirt around. Like I'm trying to keep my distance a little bit in case I need to drop and run.
So, like, what is your approach? Your approach is to be stealthy, or your approach is to not not stick out?
Yeah, the latter. I think it's going to be as boring as possible.
So you want to mimic their behavior, maybe, or move like as if nothing.
Yeah.
What would that be for? I don't know. It's just intelligence, because I think it is probably wisdom, because you're trying to take the environment in and behave accordingly.
It's the inverse of noticing when something sticks out.
Exactly.
Okay.
So don't spot something out of place?
Don't be out of place. Does cybernetic prairie dog play a positive role?
Or is it what lets me do this at all?
I actually, yeah. First of all, that is it. Obviously, they treat you as like a machine animal hybrid, that they are as well. But I want to say you roll with advantage.
Okay. I won't turn that down. That is a 9.
A 9 is a success.
Well under my wisdom.
So I think you see you see the gigantic head of the Vole Mother turn for a second, and like you feel her gaze like sweeping over you, and then just turning back.
Mildly terrifying, but I'll take it as a good sign.
And you pass her, and you can see that on the other side is this what did I call it? Like a
generator.
A generator, exactly. Like a And at the generator, there are like service vomes, you would say. That there are these small boxes that you have seen before. And you can also, when you pass the mother, you can see that she, at this moment, gives birth to one of these detonation vomes.
Is there obvious controls on the generator, like that I think I could manipulate?
Yes, there's an obvious, I don't know, it's probably a combination of levers and buttons.
Hmm. Did I pass by the other hallway on my way?
Yeah, the other hallway is the view is a little bit blocked by the Vole Mother, but when you pass her, you can see that it looks like a transportation elevator, one of these things that just run endlessly, like a Paternoster, it's called in German.
Yep. I know what you mean. Okay, so it's clearly what they're using for getting to all the different floors and sending bones places. Okay, but not, I mean, maybe I could escape on it, but.
If you're not spotted and not sticking out, then that is an escape route for you, at least, not for your comrades, you fear.
Okay. I'm going to. I think it is worth risking going back and trying to communicate this to Sarko. Because this is a change in plan that is sufficient that I don't want everyone to assume that things have gone to shit.
You would also assume that if you start the generator, then there's like a massive change in the environment. That
it'll certainly, they'll be weirded out, but I don't think they'll necessarily come attack us if I turn on the generator. They'll just be like,
what is going on?
What is going on? Yeah. So I'll kind of double back in my pretend Vome scuttle.
One establishing question for Saffron. What behavioral tick do you see of one of the Vomes that is almost charming?
Ooh. I think there are some Vomes that almost like they're nervously cleaning stuff off of, like dusting the Vome mother, like, ooh, we don't want anything to collect on mother.
Cool. All right, and so you return back to you get back to Sarko, and what do you say?
I'm just like, as you maybe could see, they're ignoring me. It seems like maybe they think I'm just another Vome if I act sufficiently Vomish. But there's a generator in the back, and there are controls that I'm pretty sure I can use to turn it back on.
Did you get a sense of what it took to?
Not specifically, but contextually, it seems likely that that's like the backup generator for all of the equipment on this floor. So that includes the doors.
Gotcha. Yeah, that could make sense. Are you thinking you'd like to turn it on?
I think I want to turn it on. There's another elevator shaft that, if I'm sufficiently Vomish, I could take, but probably no one else can take. So if I get stuck in there, I might use that as an escape route.
Considering this turn of the conversation, Sarko suggests maybe we walk down the hall a bit just to so everybody knows what might be happening next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I assume that you had the discussion maybe with Nida and Azure with you.
Cool. I don't think Sarko is opposed to this. It's the same or a very similar risk to trying to communicate with them, right? That maybe go south and grenades start rolling. So, maybe this is it seems less unknown than what might happen if we try to communicate, right? We have a better idea of what might happen if
there's maybe more upside to trying to talk if we could communicate. Because we could maybe explicitly find out where Vicar is if we were able to communicate. But
if you need to get out that way, just hit that shaft, drop a couple of grenades behind you. You're going to want to, if you're climbing up and you're like bracing yourself, what you want to do is pull those pins, hold them for like 3-4 count, and then drop them. They'll explode right beneath you, but they'll take out anything coming after you, and you'll make a hell of a distraction for us to get out.
So ideally, what will happen is turn on the generator. It might cause the Vomes to start freaking out, but not in a way that's dangerous to us. Then we can come back and try to crack open the vault door, and then fingers crossed, that's where Vicar is.
I appreciate that in that plan you weren't harming any of my babies, and I just pat a couple of grenades on my bandolier.
Fingers crossed.
So Saffron turns back. Saki, you take position at the, almost at the entrance again.
Yeah.
I don't think that you have to roll again necessarily. You know the behavior of the Vomes. So you get again to the generator. There is still these 2 service Vomes that seem to assemble and disassemble something without any clear purpose. And you have the button and the lever that would definitely power the generator. It looks very similar to the old diesel generator that you've seen in the under the pines, the lurid pines. There was a diesel generator as part of the autofac. So a tried technology.
Yeah. As for the approach here, I think Saffron will attempt to manipulate these in as non-suspicious a manner as possible. So kind of how I'm picturing Saffron doing this is like same way that these service Vomes are kind of like manipulating random stuff. I'll kind of match behavior and be like, I am randomly doing some stuff here, and then I happen to push the lever as part of my random action. And then a little while later, I happen to accidentally press the button as part of my action. And then if it triggers on, I'll be like, oh my God, surprise.
What's happening? Yeah, cool. Yeah, I think you do that. The roll still travels, let's say. It's part of the behavior. You open some valve, there's some fluid running in, you have to pump it, and when you finally release the button, the machine starts trembling. There's like smoke coming out. There's this incredible noise like old diesel generators do. I hope that Sarko's neighbor starts his truck. This is a very similar sound. And it is as if you throw something into an ant's nest. There is chaos immediately. You can see that the Vole Mother is releasing some kind of like stench, some kind of really nauseating stench, and all the worms that you would identify as the grapplers, so the ones with the elongated bodies and the long arms, they immediately rush towards her, whereas the others seem to, run in circles and just be in panic mode. What do you do?
I back off. I'm like, and kind of like get to the the outer part of the room and start kind of working my way back, more or less.
Yes, Sarko, you see that there are like 3 different kinds of worms approaching the exit as well. Also, like being like in panic mode. And it's 2 of these crab worms, white crab worms, and 1 of the service worms with a shoebox-sized body.
For now, I'm going to try to fall back just so that towards where the other ones are taking aim down the hall, just so that I don't want them to see me and determine that I'm the source of their reason to panic.
Yeah, they while you retreat, you can see that they I don't know, like you can see that they behave non-threateningly. They seem to more or less try to block the exit. So they approach the corridor, and then they are they're pretty slow, but they have this like massive what's it called? Chitinous hardback. I don't know. How do you call that?
Yeah, the shell or whatever.
Yeah, exactly. And that is what they're trying to use to block the corridor. Saffron, you see that as well. You can either try to stick to your like actor skills, but then the danger is you might be too late, or you could buck it and then they might spot you. What do you do?
I think I stick with the acting. Like I am joining whatever they're doing. Like, oh yeah, I am also signaled to go block the door with you. I am...
Cool. I think this is, so it's again acting, I think. Acting as if you are one of them, but in a completely different context now. So let's make the wisdom check again. Again with advantage, because Cyberdog is next to it.
That is a 2 and an 11. So
nice. Both actually. Yeah. So I think that the bonus here is that you get there. I mean, you don't get there on time. You're not before them, so that they reach the door before you, but they haven't closed the gap yet, so you can slither between them.
I'm almost picturing like, so there are these big, like they have like their big shells and stuff, and I'm like, I come up and I'm like, oh, there's this hole in your barrier down in like the bottom left corner that's about this big, and I shrink my legs down and I like slot myself in. I make myself very like rectangular and I slot myself into the hole, and I'm like, hole plugged.
And you have almost the feeling as if they nod approvingly up front.
And then like once they've like settled in a little bit, I like slowly sneak backwards.
Cool. I like the visual. Yeah, cool.
Like
and then there's
sentient crab blast doors.
exactly. And then there's this the service vault that skittles past you, Sarko.
Mm-hmm.
And moves in towards the pool room. So Nida and Azure, you can see that Sarko and Saffron are approaching you, and that there's this small service robot. It is completely squarey and like shoebox sized, and it has this insectoid quality to it, but it's clearly mechanical in nature, and it moves towards the pool room. So what do you guys do? Saffron, Sarko, Azure, Nida?
The one that's scuttling towards the pool, if it seems like it's not paying us much mind, I'd like to follow it at least as far as like the end of the hall into the pool room and just kind of watch it. I assume it's going to go into the pool itself, but I just want to kind of watch it and see if it's interacting with those foams or maybe just going down those tunnels.
No, it approaches the pool and it extends some kind of I don't know, speakers maybe, and you have to get the feeling that it's about to broadcast something.
Oh, interesting. Assuming that I'm with the other two, I'm just going to quickly whisper. Do we want to give it the chance to say whatever it's going to say, or do we want to see if we can take it out quietly before it has a chance?
Could be good for us if we just let it go.
Downside is if it makes all the cold foams come our way, we're on a time limit.
This is the thing that we think is going to be broadcasting something.
Well, it says like it's extending speakers, right? Into the water or just out of its body?
Out of its body.
Mm.
I don't know, man. That bodes ill. I think we need to take it out.
How do you do that? Or if you do that?
Well, I mean, what do you guys think?
Chase it with a sword and try to quietly slice it in half. I don't know.
Horst, did we ever establish whether Nida's rifle has a suppressor on it? Or does it make like a whole lot of noise because it's shooting plasma and can basically kill pretty much anything with one shot?
I think the latter. I think that it's a very precise weapon, but it's not like a stealthy weapon.
Well, here's a question. We could, before we make a decision, do we want to see if like any of those doors look openable now? Granted, there's keypads involved and we don't know the combinations. But while the situation has been going down, maybe what Sarko would do is take Flux over to the keypad and see if there's information that can be gotten.
There was this little display that the hypothesis of this whole thing is that now the display should be on.
Yeah,
exactly. And that is what
interface with the keypad.
Yes. So what you see, Sarko, is when Flux climbs up on the keypad, you can see that the display is flickering on.
Cool.
And Azure, you can see that like the shoebox-sized service robot has extended the two speakers and is now powering on. What do you do?
I would say that we should err on the side of caution. I would like to run towards it with my two-handed sword drawn to chop it in half.
All right. Let's see.
Are we using roll with me today?
You can. I have. Yeah, I'm on roll with me. Roll with me /G/Ultraviolet Grasslands.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, make your roll. I think you can get, because the machine is completely unaware of your approach, and you're coming from behind. So you do the roll with what is it in white hack? I mean, I can give you just random bony. Let's say it's a +4.
Is there a link to that roll with me group? I'm just not seeing it anywhere. Sorry.
Yeah, it's on the roll for your party. Is the tab on the character keeper?
Oh, okay, great, got it. Thank you.
And we have a selection of dice rollers.
Got it.
So I rolled an 18.
Oh.
That's with the bonus.
Yeah, you would add the +4 to your AV and then try to roll under it. That's how it works.
Well, that doesn't seem like it's a good thing. I would think a -4 would be a better bonus.
Yeah. Yes. Well, what you do is you can either add the +4 to your AV, or you can subtract it from the roll, which is the same.
Oh, then I got a 10.
So that sounds as
under
if,
AV, so that's good.
Yes.
Yep.
So
Got
you
it.
hit. Roll your damage just for fun. And I roll the HP for the thing. Oh, it's actually 1 HP. Abe, are you still with us?
I am. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay.
What was your roll on the sword?
6.
6 damage. All right. So you literally slice it in half, and there's this black smoke coming out of it. You do. I mean, it is. We have established that it's completely dark, so I think that Sarko has probably shown his light down the corridor that you can actually see the thing.
Yep.
And in the you can definitely see these dark figures underwater, like the reflection on them, like moving. But back to Sarko. So, what do you do?
Yeah, I'm gonna have Flux, reattempt interfacing with the panel again to see if he can pull anything useful out of that.
So let's see. Flux is active.
Yep.
Unfortunately, you have, I think. Did you use your? Yeah, obviously you used your 1 per day magical bullshit already. So this time I would say, in order to successfully first what you get from Flux is Flux dives in, flattens his head, comes out, spits the ticker tape, and it reads complex code will need some time to decode. And I think what we're rolling now is how long it will take.
Fair. Did you want me to do intelligence?
What do you think? Yeah, intelligence makes sense. Cracking a code. Yeah. And let's see on your character keeper. Is anything next to intelligence? No. Okay. Oh, you don't have. Let's see. Your vocation as machinist, which means that applies to all your stats, doesn't it?
Right, because I'm deft, I believe.
Yes, you're the deft, and you're the machinist, and that is what a machinist does. Like crack the machine. I want to give you the this as a as an advantage as well.
Okay. I'll roll twice. So I do succeed with the 5.
Nice. Okay, which means that Flux is really quick in decoding the thing. And you can all hear how the vault door starts opening up. Like it's like this massive movement of these huge doors. And when the doors open, lights inside the room goes off. And what's it called? The lights go on, obviously. The room itself seems to be like oddly shaped. There's this oddly geometrical forms. The walls are white, and the light seems to come from, like, it's a very pleasant indirect light, seems to come from the walls themselves. In the middle of the room is like almost like a temple room or something. It's completely devoid of any furniture or anything. In the middle of the room, there's a metal coffin, and there are 3 metal boxes, like gilded boxes around it.
Interesting. I'm going to scamper over there as quickly as opportunity allows.
Well, there's the coffin. There's the 3. There's the 3 boxes. The boxes have this thin sheen of gold. And let's see. Not sure if there's like the name of the company. I don't think so. So yeah, what do? Do you open the boxes, the coffin? I think Saffron and Azure and Nida are probably entering as well.
So in terms of what the boxes look like, so the coffin, I'm assuming coffin shaped, the usual. Yeah. The boxes themselves, do they just kind of look like little? I'm almost envisioning like little money boxes. Like what do they look like?
No, big ones. Like they look more like big chests, gilded chests.
Are they decorated or just gold?
No, they're decorated with. I want to say they. That's a question for you, Sako. What gives away? You as a machinist should know that these are spare parts for an android or machine human.
Oh, interesting. What gives it away is that yeah, even though it's well decorated, they've made sure to like label it well. It's kind of like the same way that someone who's really into keeping their garage organized might use tape and outline every tool that hangs on a wall. There's a similar level of on the exterior of the decorate. It's like someone has worked in that kind of thinking into the decoration, like. You know,
the decoration gives away what's inside almost.
Yeah, if you imagine like maybe like a Vitruvian Man aesthetic, like the Da Vinci drawing where there's like the guy inside the circle in the pose. The difference is like what body parts are highlighted on each box.
Nice. I love it. I love it. So yeah. There's the what's it called, the Vitruvian Man, and then the body parts that are inside the box are differently colored.
Yeah, I would say it's like a combination between that and like the information density of the is it the Voyager probe that has the golden plates?
Yes, definitely. Yeah, with some kind of code code message. Awesome. Yeah, you are all like I am picture Sako running into this almost sacred room, and the others like walking in more slowly, and it definitely gives the, as I said, like an almost religious. You get an almost religious feeling from the room. Oddly shaded angles, and the light is like this spiritual, indirect light.
So there's also this coffin.
Yes.
Are there locks or anything on this, or could I like pop it?
I think you can pop it. There's probably like lashes that you can switch.
And kind of peek inside.
When you open it up, there is the still body of a machine human with a female face, and I would say that she looks like almost like Saffron looked before they changed bodies, so to speak. So it's this waxen skin, I think you described it, and almost featureless. Is that how you described?
Yeah. It was like a lot of the defining features were just like not on there, and I would paint makeup on my face depending on what countenance I wanted to project.
But there's some of like the feature hint at a female face.
Yeah, I can imagine different constructions of the head part would have different kind of vibes that they give off.
I'm imagining something that's like a slightly even smoother version of like the changelings from Deep Space Nine.
Yes, I mean that was my association as well as what Chris described it.
Yeah, I can see that as like a kind of touchstone too.
Yeah, but the machine human is not moving. The eyes are open but just stare.
I think we found Vicar.
I think so as well. Oh.
But then what are the boxes? We have very detailed, ornamented boxes, and we don't.
Batteries, brains, spare parts.
Vial parts? Who knows?
I think I failed that role, unfortunately.
If I'm gonna open whatever box, if there is one that looks like it might be labeled that it could contain like a head or brain or something. Yes.
So when you open up the one of the boxes that you assume has like the positonic brain or like part of the brains, you can clearly see that it is. So first of all, if you open it up, there is the smell of like scented grease, and the parts are all like covered in these cloth that keeps them separated. And I mean, it's almost above your pay grade what you see, Sako. So this is pretty far out. If you would have to, like, you get the impression that if you assemble these parts in with a body, you could restore Vicar.
Okay. So these are almost like canopic jars for this machine human.
Yes. And that without them, she has no personality, not even no personality, she wouldn't function.
All right. Well, I'm going to start. Yeah.
Saffron is just like, we need to get all of this out of here.
Yeah. I feel like we're probably going to, well, we could, I'll ask the group, how do we feel about maybe asking Flux to close the vault door behind us and get this online down here so that we don't need to carry it out?
Is that possible?
I think we could get the body parts out, but I don't know if we could haul the coffin.
We could skip the coffin.
Just carry the body?
Yeah.
I was going to say, do we need the coffin?
Coffin's just dead weight, I think.
Okay.
So there's no like preservation component to it, like life support or anything like that.
Well, I'm thinking here
Good
just like the capacity that we have available.
Mhm.
Like I'm guessing a person is probably a sack. Yeah. Okay. And
we have Azure D.
Azure D is
Okay.
super strength. Has
Okay.
strength.
Azure D could probably carry the coffin with the person in it. If each of the boxes is portable by, say, Sarko and Saffron and I, then we could theoretically take all of that stuff out.
Mhm.
Yeah, I think maybe we can have like, we can add one box a piece to each of what we're carrying, because I think we might each have capacity as long as we're not, getting any other struggles. And then maybe Azure can haul the body itself. We'll get some sort of harness or straps or something.
Yeah,
I think-
I was figuring I'd throw it over my shoulder.
That works.
Keep a pistol at the ready.
Yeah, the coffin itself is a bit too much.
Yeah.
It is also much bigger than the person inside.
Mm.
It is. So it is just the coffin is just a coffin. There isn't.
Yes.
It's not like hooked up or anything.
Okay,
That doesn't
cool.
seem
Then
to be
yeah,
electronics.
then yeah, totally. I'll take the effort to try to get the other boxes out if we can, since even if it's only gold plated, it's still a fancy gold box. It's worth something to somebody.
Uh-huh.
Not wrong.
So all of you take one box. Is that what I hear? Or is Sarko just taking one box?
I think we're each grabbing
Yeah.
one of the ornamented boxes.
I'll grab a box.
Um,
And
Cool.
how big are the? Can we put the like? I think most of us have a porter's pack. Can we put the box on our porter's pack to keep our hands free?
If you have a porter's pack, I think you have this weird construction where you can put things on, and you also, wasn't it that you can then carry twice as much?
it gives us an extra sack of carry.
Yeah.
Yeah, an extra sack.
I kind of picture it like a hiking backpack, but then it has like a
Yeah.
little shelf on top of the frame system, and you can like
Mhm,
flash a
mhm.
box on top of it.
Yeah, so you move towards the pool room again. I want to. I don't assume anything, but do you have any light source?
Ooh. Are we going to do the same thing before, where we have full spectrum prairie dog fellow take the lead?
It worked before, so I'm tempted to be like, turn off the light.
Yeah, I
We're
kind of feel
not
the
in a
same way.
rush. We can take our time.
Yeah. Plus, I don't want to get into a fight when we're carrying now a bunch of extra weight.
Yeah, if we can avoid it.
So
The downside, just the counter thought is, if I fail the roll on this, would we rather have lights on so all of you can see?
Well, I don't think if I need to flip a lamp on, I don't think it'll take too much time. Like, we might have one round where we're in the dark, but not too bad.
Okay.
So you do sneak in. You try to be slow and stealthy, which.
So
triggers-
we're heading into the pool room, correct?
Yes.
Are we leaving the door to the vault where we just came from open? Is that giving us any ambient light?
I think it's down a hallway.
Yeah. I think it's too far away because it's
Okay.
also very indirect light in the room itself. By the way, Saffron, when you you were distracted for a long time after you've seen the dunes from above. I don't know if you remember the
Yes,
structures. They seem to communicate something, and as soon as it was clear that your next goal was to enter Vicar's Beach, that distraction disappeared.
Okay.
But there was always like a nagging feeling in your mind. And the moment you saw Vicar, that nagging feeling disappeared. And it's almost as if the dunes symbolized something like get me out of here, or help me, or save me, or something. And now that you succeeded, that nagging feeling is gone. So lights are out. You're sneaking through the pool room, and I would like Saffron to make a dexterity check, because you're taking the lead, and the others are following. And I think the last time you got advantage because Cybernetic Prairie Dog is next to you.
Yes, I am slightly sneakier because of my form.
Mm-hmm.
All right. 9. A 9 and an 8.
Close.
Close. So I think what happens is, because you're carrying the boxes, you're much less sneaky as before. And you underestimate the volume of your backpack, and so it scrapes against the wall. And immediately you hear a shaking sound underwater. What do you do?
I think I just say lights on and hurry.
Cool.
I think we can get to the elevator.
Yes, you were halfway on your way to the elevator when Saka turns the light on, and you can now see that there are these 6 movements, like shapes underwater that get bigger and bigger and bigger while they are emerging from the water.
I'm throwing 2 grenades at the pool.
Yep, I was going to say, with my spare hand, I'm going to take one of my grenades and throw it into.
Yeah. The only throw here, you don't have to roll to hit a pool. That works. But you need to roll the damage.
Fair enough. So I'm chucking 2, and they do, what is it, 2d12 damage each? 3d6.
3d6 per grenade.
All right, so that is, why don't you just go ahead and roll 6d6.
Mm-hmm.
All right, there's stuff popping up on that active. Okay, so right. Grab all that stuff out of the way real quick.
Which of the grenades are these? Sorry, you were saying.
The bone grenades. I'm tossing 2.
Yeah, I'm just looking for them on the chart.
I'm gonna throw one too.
All right, so there is 4, 1, 5, 6, 1, and 5. So that is a total of 22 damage.
Is each of them a 3d6? So
each is 3d6.
Okay.
Yes. 22. Okay. You can see that one of them is completely destroyed, and the other one has, a lot of stuff missing.
The one grenade I drop in does 11, like an 11 total.
Okay. That's 3. And Azure?
That's pure statistical average, baby.
Azure, you also threw 1, wasn't it?
Yeah, sorry, 9. I didn't know I was muted.
Okay. So yeah, definitely, you know, there's water like exploding out of the pool. There's like the dark fluid swimming on the water. And then there's steam coming out of it. There's also like obviously the noise of the explosions is a bit muffled, and the water is like moving violently. But you can also see that there's still movement in the water, and there are figures coming out of it. What do you do?
I think our best bet is getting into the elevator and defending position while we wait for it to be ready to go.
Isn't the elevator at? Because
it should be.
So it should
still be here.
The door opening, right?
The door might still be open. We don't know.
The door's closed. So when you arrive there, you press the button and you hear the friendly voice of Belle. Oh, hello there again. Have you talked to Vicar?
Hi, Belle. We have found Vicar, and we would like to go back up.
Oh, most certainly. And while you were talking, there's this 1, 2, 3, 4 creatures like jumping out of the pool, and with their long, like tentacle-like arms, they try to grab you and drag you back into the water. So let's make a initiative, group initiative. Who feels lucky?
I can't remember how initiative works in White Hack.
You roll a d6, and the higher the better. So if I roll a 6 and you roll a 5, then the monsters start, and otherwise
Gotcha.
And I roll with me. Holy shit! What is going on it roll? It's utter chaos.
We had a good roll for damage.
I'll roll 1. 4. Decent.
I roll 1 as well.
5.
I got a 4 as well. It's at the same time. So what is happening? So first of all, what do you do? So they try to grab you. What do you do?
As a group?
Are they close enough
individually you can do whatever you want.
Are they close enough that throwing grenades would be a problem now?
Yes, definitely.
Satrap Radiant Gun. I'm gonna open up.
I'll grab my my pistol off my hip since I can hold that one-handed and unload on them.
Yep.
And these are organic, correct?
Yes, they are organic with mechanical bits.
I would like to use Ajax's narcotic tail darts to take one of them down as well. So I want to use the special ability.
Nice. So what I'm hearing is attack. Azure?
Yep, I'm in the attack too. Roll.
Yeah, you're in the attack. You could attack. You could try to dodge their attack and try to jump into the elevator or do something else. But I hear 3 times attack. Saffron?
I think I shout to Azure, get the body into the elevator.
So is the elevator door open?
Yeah, now it opened. After Saffron and Belle had the pleasant conversation, the door opened. So the elevator was always there, just the door was closed.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I'm like, the door is open, Azure, get the body in the elevator, Nida and Sarko can...
Can we move and shoot at the same time?
Yeah, can I take a pop shot or no?
No. If you shoot, that would mean you accept that they attack you, like they grab you, and their attack is a grappling attack, not a like a they don't try to kill you or something. They try to drag you underwater.
All right, I'll dash into the elevator.
Yeah. I thought we were waiting for the doors to open too. So I'll getting out of here is my priority for sure.
Yeah.
So I
was just like Ajax and I, instead of like trying to engage them, are getting in the elevator.
Okay, so let's see how would that actually work. Is that I think it is an opposing role, I would assume. I never had that. So grapple.
I mean, alternately, if we think that they're going to be grabbing like our legs or whatever, we could like attempt a shot to like blast off the tentacle that's grabbing you or whatever. But
and because it's the same time, it's a bit weird. I want to say you can probably let's see if they succeed. If they don't succeed with their rolls, then that's a different thing. But what I hear is you all try to get into the elevator. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think the end result is we want to be in the elevator.
And this is like a cargo elevator. It's not like like a
it's a big one.
Okay, so we can all move in with our packs at the same time. Okay.
Or more or less, yeah.
Yeah, we don't have to go like single file or wait and say, "Oh, excuse me, I'm sorry, I jostled you."
So I will just use roll for your party. Let's see, roll with me. So the first one attacking Azure, and they need to get under a 14 or lower. I don't see it.
It's a 6, I believe. Are you the white one?
Yeah, probably.
That's the one you just rolled.
Okay, so that would be a success.
So I have to roll under.
And now you want to probably. Now, I mean, the problem is, their attack succeeds, which means they grapple you. I think what you can do is you can try to wrestle free, which would be a strength check, I think. So they grabbed you. Is how I read it.
Yeah, like a tendril around the leg or something like that.
Yes, and now you can wiggle free, like push them back, break the grapple with a strength check.
Got it.
Yes. So you describe how it looks like. The creature jumped out of the water and grabbed your leg. Let's say with 2 tentacles.
How about we say it grabs it like it grabs like my forearm.
Yes. Okay.
And it starts like yanking on it, and I just kind of turn around and look at it angrily and kind of yank my arm forward, and it breaks the tendril off back at the base. I'm still stuck on my forearm, maybe flapping around like a hose with water. But,
all right. Given that you're really, really strong.
That's what I figured. Yeah, I figured I could pull that off.
Let's go with this. And then Nida, the one attacking you. Another D20. Oh, no, actually, that one fails miserably. So what do? You have like a free action.
Am I already in the elevator?
Yes, if you want to, you can just like jump into the elevator.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely getting in the elevator. If you're saying I can have an action in addition to that, then sure, I'll take one. But otherwise, I'm getting out of here.
Yeah, it looks like it's really crowded in front of the elevator. Taking a shot now might be a bad idea. And so another one is attacking Saffron. What is your AC?
2.
Oh, so they barely make it with a 3. So you're now restrained, and you can try to break free with strength. Or you can try to kill them by shooting them in the face or something.
Is this something Ajax could help with by knocking it out with the narcotic darts?
I think in the next round, because your action was to break free, I think.
Sure.
Yeah, so if one of us is still getting like dragged into the water, then
is a tentacle coming after Sarko as well?
Yes.
Okay. Just checking, because if there weren't, I was going to say like I could maybe try to help out with the other one, but
I mean, my odds are pretty good if I try to force my way free, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Versus trying to laser eyes it or something.
That is also a possibility.
I mean, like,
I
imagine it's like strength, but I'm like, I grab one of, I think like the image I have is grab one of my daggers and I like slash at it and like try to yank myself free. But it's mostly strength of trying to pull out. So
yeah,
I can roll that. No, that's a 19.
Oh wow! So the Sarko, we can describe like Saffron. You are pulled back, and the others can see that Saffron is pulled back into the water. So
yeah, I think I like slam into the ground and
and Sarko, let's see. This is a 5, which is under the AV over your AC, I would assume.
Yep.
So they grab you as well.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that grabbed you, unlike the others, looks pretty not really injured from the explosion. They were probably deeper down or further away or something.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
So do you break free? Do you shoot them?
Let's see. It didn't seem like one grenade was enough to blow up a tentacle, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that since if that's not strong enough and this one's less damage, even though I don't have a good strength, it's probably my best chance of getting out of the situation. So no.
It didn't succeed?
13.
Okay, so you also get dragged into the water, and then there's the last surviving one, and that is like approaching the elevator, trying to hold the doors open. So next round, let's roll for initiative. I roll a d6 on this really cluttered room. I have no clue what I rolled. Where might it be?
It's a 3.
Is it a 3? Okay.
It looks like they'll appear on the far left.
Shall we? I have an idea.
It appeared when you were talking, so.
Okay,
you can also change the color of the die by using the little dropper at the top of the room.
The D6 was a 3?
Yes.
That he rolled.
Yeah.
Yep.
So maybe Azure, do you want to roll a d6 to get over it?
2.
So they attack first. Interesting.
Oh, that was for initiative? Shit.
Yes. Yeah, can happen. So Saffron and Sarko, you are both underwater, and what they're now trying to do is they're trying to strangle you. So every round they give you like damage by pure like strength of squeezing you to death. And let's see. So you can again try to on your turn, like after they did their damage, try to break free. And it's a d6. So let's see. I take another color. My color is violet, obviously.
Horst, do you want me to clear out all your dice?
Please. What did I roll? Did I roll anything? Oh, it's a 5, I think.
Also, if you look at the far side on the far right of the room, you'll see 2 arrows pointing left. If you click on those, it'll tell you what the roll was, so you don't have to find it.
Oh, cool. Oh, this is a good feature. Saffron takes 5, and Sarko takes 5 as well. Ooh, Sarko. Is that killing you?
Yep.
Okay. So is it so once in a fight you can either make a constitution check or a saving throw in order to reduce the damage. That is once in a fight. If you fail that, you're dead, I think. Let me get the rules before you make your decision.
Is there any way that I could use one of my specials to help out here?
Not really, because you act after them, like the monsters act first. So
Okay.
let me read out what you can do, Nathan. Once per battle, when an attack would damage them, they have the option to save. A successful save reduces the damage by d6 points, representing an adrenaline rush that enables the character to shrug off some damage for a single attack. If the save fails, however, the character takes full damage from the attack, and if she has 1 HP left, she's still knocked out for 2 rounds. If she gets negative HP, she dies without another save. So yeah, a constitution save or saving throw, which is better in your case?
Constitution save is slightly better.
Mm-hmm.
Or constitution check.
Yep.
Nope.
Oh no, 16. So, yeah, it's a pretty horrible death, I think. So the creature drags you down, and you stare at it in its like inhuman face, while everything gets black around you. What's your last memory before you die?
I don't know.
It's just
pain.
It's pain. The lights goes out. Yeah, I'm sorry, man. Sarko was super cool.
Yeah, definitely. It's a bummer.
But the round is not over yet. So there's the other Vome in the entrance of the elevator, blocking the door, and I think that one is trying to grab. Let's see, Nida probably. So let's see. D20.
And this is the one at the elevator, correct?
Yes, and they succeed. So neither you get grabbed by that creature. What do you do?
And this is over my armor class, but under my what?
They rolled a 13, which is under their attack value and over your
okay.
Over your AC.
Yeah.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. And my options are resist using strength, if I remember correctly.
Yes. You can also just shoot them in the face and hope to kill them.
Can I use my special yet?
Yes. Now you can use your special.
I'm going to shoot this thing in the face with my plasma rifle.
Okay. Okay.
You said use my special to start to say something. Save. sounded like
just to save Saffron, you can send Ajax into the water, which will probably make him hate you even more because it's water. But
because I've used neither of those specials. Can I use them both now?
I don't think in the same round. I also would say that your plasma gun is a sniper rifle, so you can do the weirdest shit on long distances. I don't think in the elevator it's much of a use unless you clubber it or something.
What I was thinking is that Ajax takes out the one in the elevator, and then I snipe the one messing with Saffron.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I don't think it works because you can't do two things in one round.
Well, but the thing is, as my defense act, Ajax takes out the one in the elevator grabbing me. For my attack, I use the special to save Saffron.
Yeah, so the way it works is Ajax actually is an extension of you. So every time, for example, Ajax does something outside of their expertise or something, you would have to tell them you need to do this in order to trigger their action. So basically, if I'm understanding what you're saying, Ajax taking out the one in the elevator would be my action for this. Exactly.
Round.
Yes.
Okay.
Or Ajax, saving Saffron could be, and you just accept that so you're shouting, Ajax, help Saffron, while the creature drags you away.
Okay, let's see this. Yeah, Saffron's in bad shape. There's no way that I could shoot Saffron or shoot the one holding Saffron with the sniper rifle, correct?
No, at the moment you.
Then I want Ajax to save Saffron. We'll give, because Saffron has 3 hit points. So
and also Azure can do something while the creature is dragging Nida away.
But have I already acted this round?
No.
Oh, so can I since I'm unencumbered, can I shoot the one that's taken out Nida?
Yes, you can drop. You can drop.
Drop the bot, robot,
and shoot.
Yes. Can I use both my plasma or my porcelain pistols?
Yeah. Why not? Let's say yes.
All right. So I roll twice or just once?
You roll once. No, actually, two-handed. It's a whole thing. You roll twice, and the second one gets a -4 modifier, as far as I remember.
Very D&D.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So that's my AV, right?
Yes.
And then so I add 4 to my next one.
Yes.
20.
Or subtracted from your. Yeah, no, you edit actually. Yeah, you're right. So that is a critical miss, and the other.
That was just a miss.
Oh, that was just a miss. So it's probably because obviously you don't want to shoot Nida, and it's a really close, and so you get off 2 shots, but you don't hit. And but we see Ajax diving into the pool while Nida is getting dragged away. And because it's a special, Nida just describes how Ajax takes out the attacker.
Ajax just starts slamming tail dart after tail dart after tail dart into this thing until finally it overdoses.
Yeah, and I like the way that you describe it. It's really like the first darts hit and it doesn't seem to lose its grip at all. And just after a barrage of these darts, it's suddenly lets go of Saffron, who appears out of the water. But we also see while Saffron comes out of the water gasping for air, Nida is pulled back into the pool. and there's like this radiation rays coming out of the elevator. So the next round, roll for initiative. Maybe Saffron.
Sure.
I got a 1.
Three.
All right, so you act first. All of you act first. Neither, you can also do something, obviously.
I need to escape this thing, get out of the water.
Mm-hmm. So you can try to break its grip before it can squeeze you.
And that's a strength check, correct?
Yes. It's an opposing strength check, so I will make a strength check for the creature as well. And then you want to roll under your strength, but above the strength of the opponent. That is a 4. And I rolled a 5. So the creature actually succeeds. Saffron, what do you do?
Okay, I have 3 HP. I have trying to think whether I can pull off an interface into these vomes to stun them or something like that. Just like a temporary
like a jolt,
the grip, buy some time. But I don't have much HP to put towards the action.
The mechanical flame. Would you need to sacrifice HP for that?
Yeah, they're both rituals, so there would be a HP trade or roll for effects and speed.
Can you use your Inspector Gadget legs to bail out? Or no? I guess not.
I mean, I could punch something, but yeah.
And while Chris is thinking, Azure, what do you do?
So now everybody's in the water except for me.
Yes.
Is that correct?
I am out of the water.
That is true. Saffron is out of the water.
Oh, are you being dragged towards it, or did you get out of the
Ajax?
Oh, right.
And my move is like hauling myself out of the water.
Got it.
And maybe I could do something while I'm doing that.
All right. So what did the porcelain pistol shoot? Is it like gunpowder or is it like lasers?
I think it is some kind of radiation, I would assume.
All right. So I guess my thoughts are I run towards the pool and start firing off at the one that's got Nada.
So make your roll.
Oh, sorry. I have to roll for that, don't I?
Yes.
Another 20. Oh wait,
that's
I get
not
2,
good,
right? And then I add 4.
Yes.
I add 4 to this one, right? 14, and I have 11. Nope.
So twice.
So the critical fail, is that like I shoot myself in the foot or no?
Yeah, I need to think.
Well, the other one was not natural 20. It was just a flub, right?
With your bonus, yeah. I'm not sure if critical fail is. I think it is. I mean, we're coming up on the end of the session, so I don't want to complicate things by looking up rules. Saffron, you haven't acted yet.
Yeah. So I guess the open question is the negotiation around ritual cost and whether I can even.
Yes, I want to say so. The increments are 1, I think d6 minus 2, d6, and then d6 plus 2, and so forth.
Okay, so I could only afford a 1 because I can't kill myself with the ritual.
Yes, and I mean the effect is not even that bad. I want to say that the effect is probably like a d6 minus 2 because you just want to give it a short jolt that it stops its action. It releases NIDA.
Yeah. Ideally, I would like to have them also release Sarko.
Mm-hmm.
And then we like grab them on the way out.
To retrieve the body.
Yeah.
I mean that is like an area effect. It's 2 people. I think that would be. So I would assume that you somehow communicate the signal into the water, and then there's like waves propagating underwater, reaching them both. I think that is a d6. I don't know how you could. I mean, obviously, if you took your time, I think if you get back into the water, you could get one of them. Like if you touch, like let's say you whisper it into their ear or something.
Oh, okay. So it's the combination of distance plus area effect.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yeah, one of them, and then in close proximity. Unless you can get something, you give me something. I don't know, like a valuable thing that you sacrifice.
I could. I mean, I depending on value, I have a bottle of champagne from the robot bar. I have kind of an amusing mental image of me throwing this into the water and then like overloading it, and it explodes.
And by that, like you're pumping it, throwing it in the water, it explodes, and that propagates the signal. I like it. Let's do that.
Okay.
1 HP.
And goodbye, bottle of champagne. Should have grabbed more than one.
And this is the interface. Yeah, that was also active. Cool. All right. So I think Sarko's body and NIDA, like when when the wave goes through the water, the foams, they are still for a second and turn that as if listening for something. And NIDA, when you are released, what do? You see Sarko's body floating next to you.
Grab it, get out of the pool.
Yes. And so you're all wet.
Get to the elevator.
Get to the elevator. The elevator door closes, and this is our last shot when the almost obscenely happy elevator music starts.
Is it seriously playing a bossa nova?
Mm-hmm.